Most companies do not understand how to target someone who is hot versus targeting someone that is cold. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the exact process using Google ads as well Meta or Facebook ads. So with that being said, if you want these types of results, continue watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. But if you want my team to set up these acquisition systems for your organization, click the link below and you'll be able to schedule a call with us. And that being said, let's dive right in. When it comes to Google ads, the best part about that platform, in my eyes, is that we are able to understand the seasonality as well the active demand. And as you can see right here, we're using epoxy floor coating for our example. And we are targeting the United States in this search term within the last 12 years. And you can see the seasonality. We're able to see the peaks, the valleys, as well the search demand. Now keep in mind, this is nationwide. So if you're looking for the search demand in your city or in your state, this number is going to be much, much smaller. Now, the cool thing about Google ads is that we're able to see the search demand. However, we are also limited by search demand. So we're going to have to understand how can we get people in different buying cycles, or how can we target people in different stages of the sales cycle. And this is how we can also leverage Facebook ads, or how we're positioning our product on Google. So with that being said, the most aware or the hottest lead out there are people who are already familiar with your product and with your brand, especially. They already know your company name. They perhaps purchased from you before. They've seen your content before. They've already interacted with your website, or they've been referred over to you. So in this sample we have here, we have True Bond Epoxy. So if you type in their name, they're running a branded ad for their specific company name. So truebond.com/form. And if you click on it, it's going to be a form. However, these are people that are already familiar with who they are. And if you're running a campaign, you most likely are going to spend like probably $5 to $10, depending how large your brand name is, for that specific keyword. But it's very important to run a branded campaign for your company, because if you're not doing, another company can, and they can be hijacking your traffic essentially. And I would say it's an ethical way. There's nothing wrong about it, right? They're not posing as you, but they might be posing as another company that's better than you. So, and they can see that on their ad, probably 10% stronger than X company or leading brand, so on and so forth. Next up, we have a product aware ad. A product aware ad is another audience that is essentially hot or familiar with you, ready to purchase now, because they're going to be looking at the key differences between your product and another product. And usually these types of campaigns is where we focus having a discount, right? Or some sort of incentive or a specific packaged offer, so we can separate you and haywire epoxy, which is me. That does not exist. But then we have solution aware. So solution aware is where people, they know they have a problem, but now they're looking to get that resolved. So these are people who are thinking about buying now or thinking about purchasing something, but they're still exploring and still doing their own research. So if we type in warehouse slippery floor solutions, and this is a great example because they're showing you the before and after, and they have a ton of content explaining why their product is superior. Also suitable, factories, garages, the features they have, anti-slip. And this is all very important because they're trying to get someone that understands they have a problem. Maybe this is what their facility currently looks like, and what it could look like and how their product solves that. So when you're running a campaign, especially on Google, understand how to position your ads, how to write your ads to get people in different parts of the sales cycle. Because then next, what we have is a problem aware. So these are people who are just getting started in their searching, right? They understand that their concrete warehouse flooring is cracking. You might see this type of keyword with a lot of blogs because these are people who are just getting started in the buying cycle. So you might use this type of keyword for YouTube videos or for blogs that could get people into your ecosystem. Now you might also see some keywords here for with an ad, but I would say it's a little bit of a waste because they're most likely not ready to purchase right now. They want to do more research. They want to make sure that the problem they have, you're the proper solution for it. And then if you are the proper solution for it, what other products like yours are out there that might be better? And this is where we then find people putting up that discount or specific offer for getting people into that buying cycle. But just know, in order for someone to go from unaware to aware, they have to go through that sales cycle. So it's extremely important to not disrespect that sales cycle when you're running ads and to have a proper expectation. So an unaware ad will not be useful for Google because these are people who have no idea that they have a problem. Maybe they believe that, floors are just supposed to crack after 50 years or 2 years, whatever the problem might be. So with that, Google does not do so well with an unaware audience, but it does extremely well for people who are problem aware, product aware, solution aware. But when it comes to unaware, they're not too familiar with it, and that's where Meta and YouTube shines. So when it comes to running ads on Facebook, especially B2B leads, people tend to believe that B2B on Facebook is not ideal or not great because people that come in through the door are too cold. And from what I shared with you so far, mostly the people that are on Google, they're ready to buy now or they're open to it, right? So these are people who are product aware, very top, or brand keywords. And then open to it, these are people who are problem aware or solution aware. Now the unaware, not thinking about it, don't think they're interested, no, they're not interested. These are people that we can target on Facebook. Now, keep in mind, if someone thinks they're not interested, we then have to get them to start thinking about it, become opening to purchasing, and then ready to buy now. So we cannot disrespect the sales cycle. And just like how people move through the sales cycle on Google is through content. So we're gonna have to leverage that on Meta. So we're gonna repeat the same exact process on running an ad to an audience that's most aware, but on Meta. So when it comes to getting that 3% of that prospect that's ready to purchase now, these are people who are very familiar with you, right? So for example, Haywire Epoxy, that's me. That does not exist. I just made up this quote unquote company for the sake of this video. So these are people who are very familiar with who I am, what I have to offer, and straight call to action, apply for dealer pricing. We're not gonna run an ad like this to someone that is not problem aware. These are people who are ready to purchase right now. When it comes to product aware, this is where we're going to share how we are superior from other competitors. And that could be on the highlights, it could be the before and afters, or us versus them, or the cost of not using us. And we want to focus on the product itself being the best option for them. Now, keep in mind, these are people who are already familiar with our product and other brands. So if you have a package you want to put together or a discount offer, this is a specific ad to place it on. Now, this is where we get to people who are in the information gathering mode. And this is where we begin comparing different types of products out there, but not calling out any brands. We want to show them the solution to our product. Now, for every problem there's several solutions. So we could use statistics on why we are superior. We could use case studies on why we are superior, but we want to show them that what we have is the best solution to their specific problem. And this ad explains it specifically. So keep in mind, if we're running an ad like this, we're showing epoxy versus polyurethane and polished concrete, that ad also needs to explain this. Which one will last longer and why epoxy chooses us every single time. If we're just running an ad like this to a landing page where it's just a form and not answering this question, we will not get the type of result we are looking for. So everything has to be congruent, from the ad all the way down to the landing page and the messaging on that landing page. So lastly, we have problem aware. Now, problem aware is down here. These are people that are starting to experience they're having a problem. So it could either be slippery floor, it could be that they have to replace their flooring every 10 years. The list of problems is tremendous. So with you can have an ad mentioning each problem that they're experiencing, but that ad directing them to a landing page that is showing the solution to their specific problem. And this is exactly how we're going to get people in different pockets of that problem aware circle, if you want to call it that. Because as you can see in a triangle here, it's 20% of that market is problem aware. So if we're going to target people with slippery floors, that's one audience. We could target people that are experiencing cracks on their floor. These are people that we can target that are experiencing an ugly floor and they want something more appealing. So this is how we're now able to scale on Meta, but we have to understand that if someone's problem aware, we have to give them the information that's needed for them to purchase from us. So if you are just running an ad or a lead form on a problem aware ad, you're gonna get a lot of people who might be too cold for your sales reps. And then lastly, an unaware ad. These are people who are not problem aware at all. And this is going to be the hardest people to convince, because they need to be convinced on why they are dealing with something that they have yet experienced and how we are the solution for them and we are the best option out there. So when it comes to running a campaign on Meta and on Google, there are different ways to structure your ad to get into different pockets of your audience. So if you enjoyed this video and it taught you something that is valuable that you're now able to implement in your organization, please drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.